This nigga used to get bitches. This nigga used to get so much bitches that we called him Mr. Bitches. And all he could say is, nah, no, man, just talk. Just talk. Fake it till you make it. Oh, just be yourself. The reason why an imposter and a bot try to say some shit like that is because they try to act like they know ball. If you can't tell me better advice, you don't know what you're doing. It don't work like that. Now when I come out, everybody asks me, yo, how we give this, bro? How we do it? What we do? It's because I focused on the you don't have true game. You're an imposter. Giving y'all game. I'm gonna be giving y'all game. Y'all gonna have true game after this. Peep game. Look, it's your boy Brands Peep Game. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm, and follow me on all platforms at Brands Peep Game. Today's topic, man. The real reason why you're struggling with women. Peep game, right? Anybody who tell you, right? Anybody who say, oh, just talk to her, bro, has no game. He does not know what he's talking about. Anybody who says, bro, oh, fake it till you make it, is an imposter. Don't listen to a word he say. Oh, just be yourself. Come on now.
What are you recording for? Are you like a TikToker?
Nah, I just be recording YouTube videos.
That's so cool. How many followers you got?
Only like, I got like 106 right now.
Okay.
They hit me with the skill check. I wasn't prepared. But peep game. Back when I was a loser, right? A bot. If you would have told me some shit like that, right? That shit wouldn't have worked for me, bro. Because the reason why an imposter and a bot try to say some shit like that is because they try to act like they know ball. What's a bot? A bot is someone who's running off of automatic code, right? So y'all think, oh, a bot is just somebody who's a failure. A bot is somebody that's just a loser. No, a bot don't know what they're doing. Peep game. And then they turn imposter when they think they know what they're doing. If you can't tell me better advice besides, oh, just talk to her, you don't know what you're doing. Peep game. True game come from self-awareness. When you're a real player, you're writing your own code, which means you know what you're doing. So I'd rather have the loser who turned it around and started getting a couple biddies explain to me how what did you do to end up getting like that? Not the nigga who got 10 bitches and all he can say is, nah, no, man, just talk. Just talk. Yeah, you get bitches, but it's like, you're not a real player in the game, man. True game comes from self-awareness. When you start with self-awareness, right, and you evaluate yourself, right, and you look at your stats, now you know the strengths and weaknesses of what needs to be leveled up. Too many players in the game, right? This is why most of them is terrible bots. I'd rather have a bot get bitches. I have a friend right now that's a bot that get bitches. He go out, he just act wild, whatever. The bitches just fuck with him. Just you look good, pause to the bitches. So they just fuck with him. The nigga act wild. Nigga do bad games sometimes. They just fuck with him. But I respect the game, but you still a bot. When you a real player in the game, it's like you play into your strength and you upgrade your weaknesses. Peep game. The shit get deep. When I was a loser, I'm looking rough. When I was a loser, ooh, I think I had the little beard or whatnot. I'm wearing a beanie or a silky, and you could see it in my face. My face got no glow. I'm really a loser, right? And a lot of me being a loser come from internal, right? Not knowing my stats. If you would have told me as a loser, yo, go out and just talk to her, right? I would have went out. It's like a car, bro. That's like saying because your car needed a new battery that you just say, yo, bro, you put a new battery in there, bro. It don't work like that. There's other shit that need to be diagnosed. At the time I was a loser, right? I really had to take a step back. I'm glad I ain't listened to a bot. I'm glad I ain't listened to an imposter, because if I listen to an imposter, right, and I said, oh, I'm going to just go talk to her, right, which this is what I don't want to get it confused. I'm not saying to not talk to them. It's the mindset going into what's being done. I got bot friends right now that gotten girls in the past, but they can't redo it. They get lucky. You gambling. Whereas I went and upgraded my stats. Now when I come out, everybody asks me, yo, how we give this, bro? How we do it? What we do? Because you don't know what you're doing. If I would have listened to an imposter advice and say, oh, just talk to her, I might gain some experience, but most bots ain't even looking at it like that. Most bots like, I'm gonna just go, and they might even enter a flow state, but they can't recreate it because they didn't gain nothing from that night. And then they start getting comfortable. Let me tell you about my mans right here. This nigga used to get bitches. This nigga used to get so much bitches that we called him Mr. Bitches, right? For years, he knows a lot of bitches, so when he started getting these bitches, right, he started getting comfortable around bitches that he know, right? But when we out in the field, out in the trenches, and it's bitches that he don't know, he can't approach them. He can't say nothing. I'm like, yo, bro, especially when I started getting my game up. I started going, I'm like, yo, bro, we out. We on this 2-man. Let's go. Let's go. Like, run down on him right now. He started freezing up. I'm like, yo. He's like, hold on, our friends. I said, bro, leave. Then it's just me and you. Like, fuck that. Like, we don't need a whole group over there. It's two biddies. Niggas start freezing up. So I was talking to him after the night. I'm like, bro, what's good with you? And he's like, bro, you just gotta do. You can't let me know, cause I be too in my head and shit. And I'm like, bro, this should be your problem, right? His problem is you gotta really focus on the why, right? This is what I started to realize. When I was upgrading myself, the only reason I was able to up myself, besides the self-awareness, is because I focused on the why. Why can't you get bitches? And I really had to think. I'm like, damn, what is it? And I started peeping. Yo, look how you interact with people. I took a step back. You don't want to be too, when you think bitches, you start turning to a bot. You just always work. Yeah, you'll get some pussy, but that don't mean you have game. When you take a step back and you saying, damn, what do I be doing? What's my main problems? This is how you start getting an answer to the problems. I remember that same guy I'm about to tell y'all the story about. I'll finish and come back to that. But that same guy, he used to be going out, going out. I said, yo, let's take a step back and I was trying to put him on game. Him and my other men, I was trying to put him on game. They kept going out. I took a step back and I'm like, I'm peeping game. So I started working on myself. I'm like, all right, I'm judging every interaction, and I'm gonna start experimenting. So when I go to the store, right, I'll go to the store. I'm gonna greet them first, because before I might have ran to the store, right, just scan myself. Oh yeah, thanks. Have a nice day. Yeah. It's just you being a bot. You on autopilot. So I started going to the store. How you doing? Then I go pay for myself. Oh yeah, thank you. Then I judge the interaction. I'm like, and it wasn't as smooth at first. I might be, oh, how you doing? So I'm like, you mumbling type shit. I'll go back next time. I'll fix my mumble. I'm like, you low key not making eye contact. I'll go back next time. I'm making sure that I'm keeping that eye contact, right? And I kept judging every little interaction. When I was judging the little interactions, I'm tweaking and I'm playing with the fine details, because I'm asking, why do I do that? And what do I need to be doing? How can I experiment? The only way to really up your game is looking at your stats, and the only way to know your stats is to evaluate yourself, and then after, when you evaluate yourself, focus on the why. Because about a nigga who say, oh, you just gotta talk to her, blah blah blah, with no game, he be gambling and getting lucky. Sometimes he get lucky wins, but when he gets a loss, he don't ever think it's him. That's why he's an imposter. An imposter will go up to a girl. He might have bad game that other girls just like because of the other factors of the car. Remember his car battery? He replaced his car battery. His door handle might have been broken, his headlight out, but the car still drive. A lot of them let him get through, right? But other ones might close the gate on that. Like, hold on, your headlight out? You dealing with low-level bots. That's why you get away with having that no headlight. That's why you get away with having no door handle. And sometimes you get the pass. But that don't mean you have true game, because you don't even know your headlight out. A motherfucker gotta tell you your headlight out, because you don't have true game. You're an imposter. When I started evaluating myself, and I'm just like, I'm peeping all the interactions, I start experimenting it. And you start knowing that you a real player in the game when you start seeing your old bot in people. Because I would do certain interactions, like the cashier, for example, because I started adding more shit. Like, all right, let me try to say something, just regular conversation. Do not jump to just trying to get to the point. We'll get on that in another video, because I gotta break down all the mechanics of the game, but I can't confuse y'all too much. You have to focus on XP. Look at all this shit like, how can I level up? Too many players in the game, or bots in the game, this is why they struggle, is because when they go out and they think they know ball because they got some pussy, they don't really understand how they did it, right? So when it's time to recreate that, they can't tell you. The best piece of advice they can say is, yo, just do it, man, because they don't even know what they did. They got lucky. They threw the shit up in the air. So if it went in, it went in. You look at this shit like the ball. I said I had to get in the gym. I had to practice my form. I said, oh, send my elbow out. I said, oh, let me tuck it in. And I was still missing, but the form was getting better. You gotta understand that you gotta put in the reps. A bot don't want to put in no reps. A bot want to do the same bad form over and over. And when it works, sometimes he feeling like the man. I get bitches. Then there's the other bots that don't get bitches, and they're doing the same thing over and over again. But you gotta realize the negative effects of this is that, like I said, a bot is running off a code. So whether you mean to do it, good or bad, it's now becoming a part of your code. So let me tie back into the deal with my friend, right? My friend, who he used to be Mr. Bitches, he started building a code of not approaching these bitches, right? So now, when it's time to, he only approaches bitches when he knows them. That's why he was getting in school. You get familiarized with these people. So when he's out of the field for some reason he thinks, okay, I just like you start off the interaction and then when I start doing good, I feel like next time I'll be good. I'm like, bro, we done did this before. I started interactions, you come, you'll do fine. But you're not realizing why you always get nervous. The reason why you get nervous is because you never try practicing the cold approach. That's your why. You have to find your why in order to level it up. If you don't know your stats and you don't know what to level up, you can't level it up. It's a new game when you know how to level shit up, peep game, because then it becomes the game of working on your stats. And now you have to go through the battle. It wasn't an overnight. When I was evaluating myself and I was like, oh, eye contact, all that, some of that was easy to correct, yeah. But that wasn't like, oh, now I could just go up to the bitches and I had to work myself up to shit. I remember I used to let so many bitches walk by. And I'm just like, bro, why the fuck you ain't say nothing? And I had to find the why. And I'm like, okay, hold on to this feeling, and I use that as fuel for the next time. Just say something, and I was breaking it down. The reason why you can't say nothing is because you keep focusing on saying the perfect shit. I had to detach myself from the result. I said, yo, and I kept breaking down the whys. If you want to have true game, please break down the whys because all the game I give you after this, it won't apply if you don't first find the why. The next videos, I'm gonna be giving y'all game. I'm gonna be giving y'all game. Y'all gonna have true game after this. But you can only do that if you focus on the why. Because if you come into it with the wrong mindset, you might get results, but you're back in the bot loop gambling. You're doing the same thing over and over and over in a loop and don't really know what you're doing. You copying game. It's all pre-written code. You can't make your own code. Peep game and be a real player. Write your own fucking code. A bot isn't always failure. Know that. A bot isn't always failure. A bot is not knowing what you're doing. A real player write its own code and that's how it level up the bot code. Me right now as a real player, I still have bot code, but as a real player, I go back and rewrite the code. I go back and debug the code, and it's not so easy. It's a process. You gotta get the reps in. When I was going out, like I said, I let so many go by. I'm like, damn, why the fuck you ain't say nothing? I had to keep questioning myself, and I had to realize what I was doing to myself. I'm putting myself deeper in the bot loop because every time you let it walk by, a code was written. Every action is a piece of code written. Now you have to respond to the code. What you gonna do? You gonna cement it, or you gonna rewrite the code? Peep game though, locking. The real players is locking in and leveling up. The imposters, I feel bad for you, I really do. And the bots, listen, y'all could break out of being in the bot loop. Just don't turn into the imposter. Put your mind to it. Peep game.